No, it's funny, normally there's like birthday folks and all this stuff. We had one birthday person. It was Art, and then he decides at the 11th hour.
Usually we have like 5 birthdays at a time.
Right. So, interesting.
Yeah.
So you're just going to make sure she gets close to the microphone.
Yeah, well, she's already got coach.
Right, who? He's been on me like stink on.
I got to move it way up.
But so many people do this, or they.
Well, the other problem is that you see how they got it all taped down now because it just got so goofy, and I'd come up and then somebody'd come up and they and then it just.
Right. Well, when we get a new podium, that'll be the best thing.
That's the problem.
Hey guys, the big pot is over $1,550, so come get a raffle ticket.
Give me $10 worth.
That is so cool about John Wong getting that big push of tickets. Oh my God, I'm so.
It's not the same as you writing.
I could care less how it happens.
I know, we just get.
Oh, just get it. Fellow Rotarians and guests, whether you're joining us in person or virtually, welcome downtown to the Rotary Club of Tucson. So, as you know, we've kind of changed stuff up a little bit. We're now doing the pledge to start, then we go to the inspiration, and then the song. I'm not going to give you any details about who's going to be doing the pledge and the song because that's going to be our pal Bob Logan's job a little later when he introduces her as a speaker. But, Hank, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Inspiration, Mitch Piesick is going to join and do that for us. As you know, he joined in March of this year, and he's just jumped right in. I think he's qualified for a blue badge quicker than anybody. Again, Mitch, not that we're going to give it to you yet. Business is classification as business services, business consulting. He owns the Piesick Consulting Group, University of Illinois graduate, and a good pal, Mitch.
Last week, Mark was exceedingly gracious in sharing with you that my father had just died, and tragically, it was only 3 days after my wife Bonnie's father, my father-in-law, had died. He told you that the next day was the memorial service for my dad and the brunch Shiva that followed at our home. The number of people in this room who showed up at the service, at the Shiva, sent me cards, emails, texts, and calls was so wonderful and beautiful. It meant the world to my family and to me. Thank you, and God bless you. Those of you who shared with me your warmth inspired me to write and share with you this inspirational message. Look at the person next to you. Let me tell you something about them. They're successful, they're impressive, they're attractive, they're popular, and they have choices. They could go anywhere and be with anyone, and yet they chose to be here right now with you. And there is no FOMO, fear of missing out, in this room. It's those who are not here who are suffering from FOMO. Time is all that we have. It is a reprehensible waste of time to spend the limited amount that we have available doing anything that we don't cherish. Life is way too short to squander our fleeting time on the unimportant and less than beautiful. Thus, missing out on doing anything other than being here among our Rotarian sisters and brothers on Wednesdays is a well-considered decision. Good for you. Buddhist scholars, mediation teachers, respected philosophers agree that living a rewarding life is never achieved by attempting to fulfill the fantasy of doing it all. It's achieved by focusing on spending our time on the few activities that truly count. We, the wonderful devoted Rotarians of Tucson, do not spend our precious time on FOMO. We have supplanted it with JOMO, the joy of missing out on all that is so much less important than what we in this room do, improving the world around us. Good for you.
Mitch, thank you. Really appreciate that. That's obviously from the heart. So we're now going to hop into the song. Hank, District Governor Hank is going to lead us in My Country 'Tis of Thee. This is not a solo, is it? No. Okay, so we'll all do this together? Okay, here we go. Please be seated and enjoy your lunch. We'll see you back in about 15 minutes or so.
Rotarians, if you haven't gotten a raffle ticket yet, I'll still keep it open for another 5 minutes, so come on over to the table if you want a raffle ticket. We're like $1,550 in the big pots. I'll be here. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so let me show you. You're going to kick that away.
Well, she said she was there were in, and she was going to get back, but obviously it's tied up. Anyway, I'm not counting it in the bank until. We ended up at 31, and about 30, almost $30,000. Between those dollars and sponsorship dollars, pressing close to $75,000. You won't end up not making your article. I was gonna call you as soon as I got the right. No, I'm gonna wait until I got this commitment form because something about it just seems too easy. Yeah. Remember the first jazz? That's the guy.
I really wanted the jazz.
That's the guy.
think you were like a fourth kid or something. Okay, you're the one that we should have a kid every year. Like someone's motivation. I thought that was just
Yeah, my first
I didn't know if you knew that I made it, and I wanted to make sure that you knew I made it.
You doing my hero?
No, from Tucson.
This is Chris Edwards.
How you doing?
Chris and I are.
We're only at Tucson Plank. Our little prices are your priority.
Chris is a member.
Sorry, I couldn't make it.
Oh, you know what?
He's such a good guy.
So we have this.
Phelps Airman.
But it was out down at the convention center in the bigger floor.
That was funny as heck.
And sneak up behind them and get his hair all messed up. And I'll be
You scared the heck out of my family.
That's my twin brother.
I didn't know if you saw me or not. Well, so nice to meet you. Enjoy, okay?
So on the introduction, I did the introduction. Screwed everybody up. Candy in charge of Photoshop.
I do recognize, appreciate, and won't forget all your good work.
Oh man, no, you know what? I can't even imagine what you go through. It's tough enough to have, as a parent. Oh my God, it is. I mean, I don't know if there's a silver lining in the never silver lining. At least the two of you.
You know, it's very poignant you say, is it better to have the horrible thing in parallel, or to have one and then afterwards go through it again? So, in a way, it's better this way. What's so, like, you can't get your head around is like, we're grieving for each other at the same time. Because it'd be horrible just one, because we were both close with our fathers-in-law. So, but anyway, I do appreciate that. I really do.
Heartfelt.
Always gonna move it, it's gonna be done after. We gotta get the exterior done. We gotta get the wall up for the dog. So all of our neighbors are in contact. We've been reaching out to them for suggestions. Right next door was their house. 10 days. They're looking to do some shelter. And we're already working together on the landscape work and stuff. He's retired. Revenues like where my he gets in Florida, and that's why I think Chamber of Commerce help out down to the bottom. Because our score was better than those. I'm not sure if they did. I think it's in-house. We had a young lady.
Okay, well, I'm going to introduce our
24 years old. Legion
Welcome back. It's that time to do the introduction of visitors and guests. I'm going to ask Chris Dodge to come up. As you know, Chris, among other things, is our Sergeant-at-Arms that's on the board. He joined in February of 20. Our pal, past tense Logan, brought him in. His classification is entertainment music, and he owns Chris Dodge Entertainment. He's a U of A grad, and I don't know about his South Point stuff. You can talk about that, Chris.
Thank you, Mark. So we have, I haven't seen her yet, but her name's on this. It's Liz Cohen here from the Sunrise Club. There you are. Welcome, Liz. Thank you for being here. And back there with Brett Stein is Derek Graybill. Say hi to Derek. Hi, Derek. Thank you for coming. And guest of Glenn Ewing today is Kay. I'm going to get this right. Watanabe. Did I do it right, Kay? Yes, there it is. There's Kay. Hi, Kay. And sitting next to Kay is John Harned. So say hi, John. He looked us up on the internet, folks. It works. And he says, like, hey, I want to come check out this club and be part of a good bunch of people. So welcome. And was a member, but now was a visitor, but now is an official member because her application has been accepted and the check has been deposited. Say hi to Anita Scales over there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And that's all I have on my list, so I will give it back to you, sir.
Chris, thank you. I'm going to introduce our pal Bob Logan, who's going to introduce our speaker, and I'm not really sure Bob needs much in the way of introduction. He joined in in April of 2008, classification education, university development. He's a U of A grad. I think he's a South Point guy as well. He'll talk about that. NAU, U of A, and then in 2019, at the start of this pandemic, he got us through it as our Rotary Club of Tucson president. Here to introduce our keynote speaker.
Wow, that was amazing. Now I'm going to introduce you, DG Hank, but I don't know if you know we have a car show. So when you go to our website and you buy tickets, just put my name here. Here you go. That's a classy thing to do, don't you think? Henrietta Hank Husking is a native of Montana and an Army wife to Peter, 25-year veteran in the United States Army. Thank you for your service. She and Peter have 3 children and 6 grandchildren, all living in California. Her degree is in education from Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas. Is that a subsidiary of Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., or no? No, okay. She's an expert in water conservation, teaching classes at the University of Arizona extension program called WaterWise. She's a charter member of the Rotary Club of Sierra Vista West, where she joined in 2005. Her home, obviously, is in Sierra Vista. She served 3 terms on the city council. Hank has spent the last 15 years dedicating her life to Rotary and has served in numerous capacities in her club and as well as in District 5500. She's a Paul Harris Society member. If you don't know what that is, you know, we make a big deal of the Paul Harris memberships. Paul Harris Society is $1,000 every year to the Paul Harris membership. She's attended 2 Rotary International Conventions, Bangkok in 2012, Hamburg in 2019. Hank is a graduate of the District 5500 Rotary Leadership Institute and the Rotary Leadership Academy. By the way, both of those institutions are available to the membership if you're interested in learning more about Rotary. Hank and her husband of 49 years. Ooh, 50 is on June 3rd. They have hosted youth exchange students from Germany, Brazil, and Peru, and staying on this international theme, they participated in a number of group study exchange, bringing people from Turkey, Japan, and South Africa. Hank was a RILA counselor with me in Prescott a couple of years ago, just before COVID hit, and District Governor Hank Husking, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Tucson, we're really, really happy you're joining us today. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, please help me give District Governor Hank Husking a rousing Rotary of Tucson welcome.
Good job.
Can you hear me okay? I think I'll keep that AG. Bob is the assistant governor now to 3 clubs, yours, Catalina, and Rincon, and we just added a brand-new club for him to help steward, and that is the Club of Tucson Verde, which Ellie is now in, your former member Ellie. And so that will be led by past District Governor Michael Drake. So they came in with 31 members, and we're very excited to hear about their charter party, to which you will all be invited. So now we have 51 clubs that we can talk about, and that's great. So I just attended a wonderful board meeting. I'm sorry you all missed it. I'm sure you don't know anything we talked about, but it's all the wonderful things that your club is doing. And the work that you're putting into not only recruiting new members for Rotary, but making sure that you keep them. As you may have heard, Rotary has an action plan, and happily enough, only 4 things that they would like every one of us to do, and that's to increase our impact. How do we do that? We do that with the service projects that we do. We also increase our ability to adapt, and we have done a lot of that. And I'm very grateful to see so many of you here who have made the transition from pre-COVID through COVID, and now we're back again as a Rotary family. So I'm delighted to see you in your new spot. It seems like you're getting settled in. I really like the piano Jen that helped me keep a tune for the song that I didn't expect to sing. So, and then we need to increase our participant engagement. And that is a big push for all of us, because I want to introduce you to a fellow that you may or may not have seen if you are YouTube watchers, but this fellow over here, his name, and let me see if I don't have a shaker, but nobody knows how to pronounce his name, so I usually hold up a salt or a pepper shaker and say, here it is, this is his name. Our new Rotary International President from Calcutta, India, is Shaker Mehta, because the way he gets you to remember his name, so you don't get upset when you say, oh, what was it again? He says, you are the movers, I'm the shaker. So Shaker is married to Rashi, and together they have 2 wonderful children. We were talking about how people grow up in Rotary. Some of you joined because you had family members who were Rotarians. Well, Shaker didn't start out that way. He started out as an accountant. And so I was talking to your treasurer who loves what he does. Thank you for doing that for 8 years, sir. And so Shaker said, well, I'm a little tired of numbers. What else is there? So he just started looking around. And he said, there's an organization that might get me engaged in doing something besides thinking about numbers. So he was asked to be a Rotarian. By now, he had gotten involved not only in accounting, but starting real estate ventures. So he said, okay, what can I do? So he found out he had a talent for convening people and recruiting people, kind of like Ernie Montaigne does, you know, how he just kind of gets you by the arm and says, have I got a place for you, a deal for you? Just like somebody who encouraged you to come into this club, and they said, you might want to get to know these people. And so with that, he found out that there were kids who never would grow up to be adults if he hadn't gotten partners together. My theme this year is connect, partner, and serve. If he hadn't gotten those partners together to do those surgeries so that kids would survive, and then he moved on to kids who had vision problems, and he got those kids help so that they could see and learn to read and help somebody else do the same thing. And people began to notice what he did. And finally, a past Rotary International president said to him, you know, India, where we're from, has a big problem with literacy. We've got 3.1 billion members. 75% of them are literate. 25% of them are not. And most of those are women. What can we do about that? So he took the time to study on it for about a year, and he came up with a program called Teach. And those of you who have received your Rotarian magazine can read that article about what he did to make that happen, so that girls all over India were becoming literate. And so it is a big passion of his, and it led to his idea for his theme this year, Serve to Change Lives. In fact, he has a saying, service is the rent I pay for the space I take on this earth, and I want to be a good tenant. So he has 3 initiatives this year. You're already familiar with one because President Mark is determined that each one of you will bring a new member into the club. Because Shaker says, you know, every time somebody becomes a new member in Rotary, they always say, well, Rotary has 1.2 million members in 200 countries, 35,000 clubs. He said, we got to stop playing that tape. We have to level it up a little bit. What would happen if you were to say to your next new member, Rotary has 1.3 million members? Move the needle up. Each one bring one. Don't put it all on just the membership chair, who's doing a great job, by the way. Thank you. But each one of us has a responsibility for bringing someone else into Rotary, and it's not just each one bring one. Just like you've told me about your process to help members understand what Rotary is all about, it should be each one keep one. Each one bring one, each one keep one. And finally, I'm going to put a little bit of an ad on. You might know that we have an event coming up that people have not attended in person for 2 years. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a bit. The next thing that Shaker would like to do is a project to empower girls, because he's so passionate about what women can do. And as you know, it took us, when did Rotary get founded? 1905. It took us until 1987 to admit women into Rotary. And some of you may have actually met Sylvia Whitlock, who belonged to the Rotary Club of Duarte, California. And they did not tell Rotary her full name. They only sent in her initials. Because at that time, women were not allowed. So a Rotarian came down from Evanston, and when he found out the club had a woman in it, he went right back and told on her and said, we've got to pull this charter. They've got a woman in that club. So the club did not disband. They were proud of Sylvia Whitlock. And they had new pins made for everyone to wear that said, Proud Rotarian of the X Club of Duarte, California. So Sylvia is still telling her story, and now I'm very happy to announce to you that Rotary is coming around again, and next year, 2022, our first woman president will take the helm, Jennifer Jones, and I'm so excited for you all to meet her. So, the last thing we want to do, well, we went ahead, didn't we? We wanted each one to bring one, we wanted to empower girls, and we wanted to have Rotary Days of Service. So, Rotary Days of Service, I think it's what we do all the time, but we don't do it with other people. Maybe your club does because you're such a big club and you have so many connections. But for the smaller clubs, they do what they do, and they do it every year. I'm asking all of you to do something a little different, to partner with somebody that's maybe not even a Rotarian, to do something to help your community and the world. So Rotary Days of Service, Shaker would like very much for us to do that, at least on a quarterly basis. And finally, I'll tell you his story about 2 girls. One was named Shani. His daughter was born with all the advantages in a wonderful hospital with everything that you could need to live a healthy life. She was brought home and introduced to the family, had a wonderful room, had a person who helped her get to bed every night, made sure that she had wonderful food to eat, and woke her up for school, and she did everything just as we all hope everyone does. On the very same day she was born was another little girl, only 17 miles away, only 25 kilometers away. Her name was Dorothy. Dorothy grew up to a parent who wasn't able to really take care of her. Her mother was ill. Her father was an alcoholic. When she did survive to take care of the rest of her siblings, that was her routine, is to wake up and take care of everybody else, feed them, walk to school. School was under a tree. Then at the end of the day, she walked back, did the chores, fed everyone, and if her father was sober, she just got to roll into bed. If he wasn't, then she might get a beating. These two girls, he gives the example of his own daughter and a girl who only was born on the same day as his daughter, 17 miles away. And that is what drives all of us to make sure that we do as much as we can for our fellow people. So we've heard a lot about Afghanistan lately. And I have some information coming out in the monthly newsletter about polio in Afghanistan because people are asking, what are we going to do? You know, Paul Harris was a person who really believed in peace. And I listened to one of your former members, Ellie Patterson, talk to Peter's Club this morning about the Peace Builder Clubs. She had a quote from Paul Harris, who said, "The road to war is well paved, but the road to peace is an never-ending road and journey that we all have to take with each generation." So we have a good hold in Afghanistan. And the Taliban have said that they will let the vaccinations continue, that they will let people do what they're supposed to do. As many of you know, we are down to 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Rotary has actually set a date for the eradication of polio, 2026. I don't know if that includes the 3 years that a country has to be polio-free before that happens. But it is a very ambitious goal, and I certainly appreciate Charlotte Harris's husband earning money for the eradication of this terrible disease. Some of us actually have met people who are polio survivors. Peter's brother was one of those. I have to tell this story, Peter. It was announced that his brother, who was 2 years younger, was going to the hospital because he was sick and he got some kind of virus called polio. And Peter, without thinking too much, he said, "Well, that's the end of Tim." I think he was 4 at the time. Tim survived, and I hope you get to meet him. He's very much alive and well. But I really appreciate all of District 5500's opportunity to raise money for polio, almost $60 million at this point. And you should know that we are going to have the Ride to End Polio in person November 20th. And I will be riding the 28. Peter will be riding the 57. Do we have any polio end riders here? Ernie, are you in? Oh, great. Anybody for the 100? Okay, not yet? Okay. Now I have to go back to what I was talking about. Each one bring one, each one keep one. And our DGE E, Anita McDonald, coined a new addition to that. She said, each one, register one. We are having our first district conference in person in 2 years at the Casino del Sol Resort here in Tucson. We got a gonga deal on it because guess what? I didn't know this. It's on the Pascua Yaqui Reservation, and they don't charge resort fees. So the rooms are terrific. Today is September 1st. If you are not registered for the conference, you have 28 days to register for the conference and save your special room rate. We have amazing people coming. Paul Sakala, our sportscaster for KVOA, is going to talk about his experience as a Rotary Ambassador Scholar. We are going to have a person who loves to be outdoors. He is coming from Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, and he made his family climb Mount Everest. And he's going to talk about each one of us, how we overcome those obstacles. And he's also going to do a leadership workshop that is called Agile Leadership. So if any of you are thinking that you want to learn the ropes, he's going to bring his ropes. And we are going to have a masquerade ball on Saturday night. We haven't had a lot of fun for a while. It's time. I think it's going to be vintage Western. But we might have a contest to see who can design the best mask. And our Rotary International representative to represent Shaker and Rashi is Julia Phelps. Julia is a past district governor and a past Rotary International director. She is from Massachusetts. She's never been to this part of the country before. So she said, now Hank, I have a brother who was stationed at Fort Huachuca. I'm wondering if you or your husband ever knew who he was. His name was William Phelps. And Peter's listening to my Zoom in the background, and he said, I knew a Howard Phelps. She heard him, and she said, that's my brother. You worked with my brother in the military. So she thought this would be an opportunity to go visit him because he lives in Show Low. She called him up and said, hey, bro, I think I might want to have time to come visit you. And he said, sorry, sis, I'm moving to Washington State. So there are so many wonderful breakouts, and the thing that is exciting about this is that we have an opportunity to get together again to showcase the things that we do really well. Will the Rotary Club of Tucson showcase some of their projects at the House of Friendship? I hope so. Will you meet the Mexicans who are coming up from their Mexican clubs to talk about their projects? And hopefully you will also be engaged in the Mexican-American Friendship Conference that's going to take place in February, right during the GEM show. So we're working on a venue right now. But this is an opportunity for you to take some of that hard-earned money that you have made and put it down on some projects that you can connect, partner, and serve with another Rotary Club in Mexico. In April, we want to have a day of peace. And in April, we want to have an opportunity for you to let kids practice their public speaking skills. Anybody ever heard of the 4-way test speech contest? Okay. Last year, we found out that Zoom is the way to go. We had 5. This time, I'm thinking we got to have 15. And the prizes are pretty good. $1,000 for first place, $500 for second, and $250 for third. Finally, I want you all to have a chance to come back down to Sierra Vista, not to visit Fort Huachuca, but because November is so packed with events that I want you to attend a Foundation Day picnic right in Veterans Memorial Park. That is Sierra Vista's downtown, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll have it at the Centennial Pavilion. Hear that word, Centennial? It rings all over southern Arizona. You're one of 3 clubs celebrating their centennial this year, and I'm so proud of everything that you have accomplished and will accomplish. Are you aware of the other 2 clubs that are celebrating? Nogales, and they wanted me to come early to give my talk so that I wouldn't interrupt their fiesta in December. And then Miami Globe is the other one. They had a picnic, and I'm not sure what they're planning, but I hope that all 3 of you will get together at the district conference. And I just want to say that I think you are showing that you are people of action, that you're people of influence, and I couldn't be prouder to be your district governor in this very wonderful year. Thank you.
So, District Governor, thanks for an amazing presentation. Really always great to hear what you had to say. We've got some time for probably a question or two if anybody's got them.
All right, Pat does right here.
I'd like to know if Rotary is going to do anything to help the Afghanistan refugees to transition into the U.S.
I know of a club called the Golden Triangle in California. They started a school in Afghanistan, and that school has been running for 20 years. So I'm not sure whether they will be able to continue, but some of my classmates in California, in the districts in California, are gathering up information so that if clubs would like to make a donation to, there are 3 Rotary clubs that we knew of in Afghanistan, and I'm not sure what the status of those 3 clubs is at the moment. But there are opportunities to make donations to help people that need it. As you know, we still have some Americans there. We have a lot of people who helped the Americans who are still there and were not able to get out. And so if you'd like to talk about a specific way to help those Afghans, I'd be glad to talk with you after the meeting. Anybody else? Yes, Liz.
Registration link for, thank you, the registration link for the district conference.
Yes, would you do that for me, Liz?
Yes. You can go on the district website, which is rotaryd5500.org, and on the home page where there's information about the conference, there'll be a link, and click on that, and they'll take you right to the registration page. And if you have a problem, you can always get in touch with me.
Thank you, Liz. I was in Prescott this last weekend, and I met a fellow Rotarian up there. We got to talking. He's coming to this conference. He was excited to be coming down to Tucson, so how about that?
I'm very happy to know that, and I want to show you something for everybody. My able assistant. We're talking about branding, and I know that President Mark is giving you kudos if you wear your pins that he got. He modernized you by getting the modern pin. But this sunshade is a way to advertise Rotary wherever you are. We live in Arizona, do we not? So for every 20 people that register for the conference, we are doing a drawing. The first person to win one was Mary White of Yuma Sunrise. We just had a drawing for another person. His name is Rick Chimblow of Oro Valley, who got the second one. Those sunshades will be there for you when you go to the registration desk at the district conference. So just letting you know, you too might be a winner of one of these wonderful sunshades.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you for that. So in keeping with our tradition, given especially this is our centennial, our pal Charlotte Harris is going to come up and give us a history moment. If you didn't know, she joined back in January of 2000. Classification is Education, Administrative Secondary, U of A grad. She might know a little something about Sal Point too. And she was our Rotary Club of President back in 2008 and 2009. Charlotte.
Delegates to the 1915 Rotary International Convention established 19 geographically defined districts. The role of the district governor was created, and one person from each district was to be elected to that role by representatives from clubs in that district, and that process continues today. As you can see by the slide, thank you. Over the years, these geographically defined districts in our area have changed when new Rotary clubs were added. Fast forward to 1971, and Rotary District 550 was established with 38 clubs. At that time were defined as southern Arizona south of the Gila and Salt Rivers. In 1991, a zero was added to existing district numbers. And district leadership continued with the district governor, whose training begins a full 2 years plus before their year of service. Part of the district governor's job description includes providing for President-elect's training, known as PETS, providing district Rotarians with an understanding of our international foundation, the Rotary Foundation, visiting every club in the district to deliver the RI President's message and evaluating the vitality of each club, and submitting a report on to RI on all of the club visits. Historically, as you can see from the slide, our Rotary Club has had 12 of its members become district governors. To comment on a few, G. Monty Butler was a charter member of our club and served as the University of Arizona as the Dean of the Joint Colleges of Mines and Engineering. Albert Lent had the classification of flour, F-L-O-U-R, manufacturer. Neil Wall was lumber retail. Billy Joe Varney was the director of the Student Union at the University of Arizona. Nelson Davis was in life insurance. Sally Montine is still in our club and here today. And though he was not a member of our club when he was district governor, Ernie Montine, then of the Sierra Vista Club, was district governor from 2010 to 11 and is a member of our club today. And Ernie is here today as well. 3 of our district governors from our club went on to serve on the board of directors of the Rotary International Board, which is a big deal. The first was Frederick Schaefer, who became the first Arizonan to serve on that board and served from 1931 to 1932. Carl Barfeld, also in leadership in the 30s, is identified here as the Rotary Rocket. He went from being our club president 1 year to the following year to district governor to the following year as an RI director. Phil Silvers is the only Arizonan to have served 2 years on the board of directors of Rotary International. He started 2 clubs in Russia, 1 in South Tucson and 1 in the Palestinian West Bank. Phil has spoken on behalf of Rotary in 40 countries in 6 continents. And I personally thank Phil for being my sponsor into Rotary and for his assistance with the slides for this presentation today. And thank you, District Governor Hank, and your confidential assistant, Peter, for your service to Rotary. Thank you.
Charlotte, thank you. You know, I forgot to mention, I think, that we've already asked District Governor Hank to sign this, but our book is The Magical Yet, and she's already signed that, and that's going to go. I have to turn this back up, don't I? I was like, is that my belly button talking? What's going on here? Anyway, this goes into our Make Way for Books library, and as we continue to support children's literacy. I forgot to mention that. Sorry about that. But it's already been signed and personalized. So it's now time for announcements, and we're going to start off with Chris Dodge. Chris, you got some money to talk to us
I
about?
got money, and I'm going to have Governor Hank help us with us.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm going to take your spot for a minute.
You go.
All right. So you have tickets in this raffle. I don't know if you know that, but Peter bought some. So 50-50 raffle. You get $60 if you win today, and if Governor Hank pulls out the King of Clubs, I think it's $1,585. How about that? Next week we go over $1,600, or we start at 0, depending on what she pulls out. So, there. Fill out a ticket.
It's on the bottom, Hank.
I should have Faye like shuffle these. She's a dealer. She's a former dealer. All right. So the last three are 031. 031. Who did I promise would win today? Look at that. We have a winner. Woo! I'm going to bring you money here in a second. Now it's up to you to see if we get the king of clubs. Here goes.
Oh, that's the pressure.
The pressure.
Ah,
Don't look at it.
how about this one?
Okay. All right, Jack of Diamonds. I'll take that out of the deck. No king of clubs this week. Back to you, sir.
Chris, thank you. So, as you guys probably know, we got a car show coming up, and we got a centennial event coming up, and I had the fun yesterday to go with a few folks and do a little recording, and before we ask Jim Lubinsky to step forward along with Joni, we're going to hear a quick little video clip. Or not video, I guess audio clip.
Hi, I'm Scott Erlaninger, and I was the
not
club
it.
president during the years of 1975, 1976.
That's not the audio clip.
All right. Scott, tell us about the times that were going on in our city, our country, the club. Kind of a time capsule that year that you were...
What's 100 years old and still going strong?
That's easy. The Rotary Club of Tucson. We're celebrating... That was it.
What's 100 years old and still going strong?
That's easy. The Rotary Club of Tucson. We're celebrating our 100th birthday, and it's so big that we're doing something really special for our 15th annual Tucson Classics Car Show.
Just $10 to win a brand new custom-built Corvette or $50,000 in cash with 5 other great prizes. Buy your tickets now at TucsonClassicsCarshow.com. That's Saturday, October 16th from 10 to 4 at the Gregory School, sponsored by WeBuyHouses.com and this station to support Pima J-Ted. See you there!
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. So Cindy Barbie was great at that, and you know what's really fun? I was talking to Chris. I didn't realize that Greg, who was that person that helped us with all this at the station, is one of his best friends. So it just shows you how small the world is, and also is the announcer for FC Tucson. So what the heck? So again, without any further ado, your show.
Thank you, President Mark. First of all, we're 24 days away from our centennial celebration, September 25th, right here. How many of you have bought your tickets? Thank you. How many of you are waiting for the right inspiration to buy your tickets, but still plan on coming? I don't see a lot of hands there. Here's the sad thing, folks. So far, 68 members have purchased tickets, for a total of 120. And we have a fantastic evening planned for you. This only happens once every 100 years, so it's unlikely most of you will be around for the second one. But it is possible, I guess, looking at some. So we have a total of 120 tickets that have been sold so far. If we do not top over 200, we may end up having to cancel the event. So it's very, very important that anyone who is still planning, get out there, purchase your tickets. For those of you who are coming right now and you know Rotarian friends or other friends that you'd like to invite, call them and encourage them to do so. We need to have a number, our first preliminary number here to the TCC by the 10th of September. So the clock is ticking, so we really need you to get out there and do that. President Hank, I'm not sure, or Governor Hank, I'm not sure if you've gotten your formal invitation yet, but you are invited as a guest of our club for this on September 25th. So we would be honored to have you attend in that. Great, thank you. So please do not procrastinate. And I think for the most part, I'm preaching to the choir because most of the people here are probably the ones that have been attending. But all of the other Rotarians that have yet to engage or re-engage, please give them a call, or reach out to them, and let's make this a really special evening on the 25th. Thanks. Sorry, Jimmy.
I got to move this back down to Mark's navel. So the final auction items that you're all securing need to be brought in like yesterday. A number of you brought some today, and Jeannie needs the time to get them online and listed, so please help us with that. Right now, we've got over 250 items committed. 238 of them are listed. We have raised, through the auction so far, $7,784. That's a long ways away from $67,293. So we need to get on the stick and get people to bid. Please share the information with your friends, your relatives, get people excited about bidding. There are some really neat things. And I want to thank not only Jeannie for her continued work, but Nancy Bevins and Lynn and Dan DeVoe, who really helped sort items for hours out at the storage facility, and the portable air conditioners that George Larson brought the temperature down to about 90 degrees. It really was pretty nice. Jim Levinsky, Leo Litsky, Jeannie, and I, and maybe another one or two, are meeting with a prospective auctioneer on Friday, a professional from Phoenix who's going to help us maximize our revenue through the live auction. And I invite you to stay tuned for more details on this developing story. Final comment, our auction is not just for people in Tucson. We now have, 9 different states, 17 bidders of the bidders that have already bid come from out of state. Tell your friends and relatives around the country. Anybody can bid. Yes, Jeannie's pointing to the slide. Yeah, you might want to mention that you can share from your slide. You can say, I don't know what you're saying, Jeannie, but thank you.
As the person who put those slides together, I just want to be sure you see that if you go out to an item like that thing for Jim Rubianis donated for the Mountain Lemon Cabin, up there in the top right, there are all the wonderful symbols. You can send it off on Facebook, etc. And the bottom box shows where you put in your maximum bid that you're willing to go up to. And if you go back one slide real quick, the one, I just want to comment, Cindy Barbie did a great job of taking the ad that was in Sunday's paper, putting it in a Facebook post, and if you would spread that out through Facebook and really let people know to get out and bid, that's really critical. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Hi, everybody. So all of you had 2 little cards here, thanks to Hugh Thompson, who's had about 10,000 of these made. These are things that you can give out. I would like you to give out 2 of these this week. You'll have 2 more at your place next week. And if you want more, you can certainly get more. We have card holders at the back table if you need one for your business and you would like to take a stack of these. Hugh says, give these to your person checking you out at Walgreens. Give it to your cashier at Safeway or wherever you shop. Give it to the person who details your car. Give it to anybody so they can go online. Put your name on the bottom on the back side so when they buy their tickets online, you get credit for it as a Rotarian. So please do that. Also, want to say Marcy would like you guys to all volunteer for the car show, which is Saturday, October 16th. There's all kinds of jobs actually on the 15th as well for setup, and on the cleanup on the 17th. So all of our volunteer positions are going to be done by signing up through the website www.TucsonClassicsCarShow, and then it would be /volunteers.com. It'll take you and you can volunteer. Did I say that right, Marcy, wherever you are? Volunteer. So be sure to sign up because I didn't say it right. Oh, okay, you got to put the .com and then /volunteer. And maybe we'll send it out in yes, she'll put it in the newsletter. So I want to give you a quick update. Life's changed since last week. Thank you so much, Jeannie Zitoff, for continuing to collect all of our ticket sales. We have made a marked change in the last week. We've jumped over 41% sold, and that's great news, but that means we have 59% left to go of our 35,000 tickets. So I want to show you How come that thing's sideways all the time? I can't read it sideways. Can you make it flat? Whoa, that's way better. Us oldies need to see it straight on. So you can see where we're at. And the next slide, please. These are the 43 members who have now sold 40 to 99 tickets. In red, these are the changes from last week. So thank you for all the newbies that have sold their minimum of 40 tickets or more. And then we have the next group who have sold 100 tickets or more, and you can see those in red have popped into that category. And in the far bottom corner, somebody's giving President Mark a run for his money. Literally a run for his money. And we thank both of them immensely because they've sold more than 1,000 tickets. Mark sold more than 1,600. So, and also just remember, if someone donates and doesn't want their tickets, it still gets divided by 10 and counted as car show tickets to you. So if you're doing that and bringing in somebody who's just donating money for the car show, please do that. So please get going. We don't have too many days left, so we need your help. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Just a really excellent report. Obviously, we've got a bunch of work to do. A couple of things. I want to say thank you to Diana Cannon. Is Diana here? So last week she hosted the STAR committee at over at the Humane Society. Just wanted to say thank you for that. Got a couple of slides. We have that president slide, the past president slide popping up there somewhere. So everybody always wonders if you're, a president, if anybody ever calls you. I want to tell you, these are the folks that call me all the time. They're very well intended. I get great advice, and I just really appreciate them. What I think is really cool about this is there's two slides. I think any other organization would be ecstatic to have almost 30 members of our club that are past presidents. And I know I kind of joke when I say it, but they really have been a great mentor for me. I get a lot of great advice, some unsolicited. Can you imagine that? Quick announcement. The 22nd of September is going to be Photography Day. If you've got a really old black and white photo, or if you look at your photo and everybody says, "Who's that?" it's probably time to get your photo taken again. So Chris Mooney is going to be here. He's going to give everybody a chance to have your photo updated. And then for those of you that may have missed being in the group photo, we're going to let you buy your way into that. So we'll do another group shot, and we'll get those folks all juxtaposed in there. So mark your calendar. September 22nd is the day you want to come looking really handsome or beautiful, as the case may be. The Fly Fishing Fund. We put that little slide up here. So we've had a lot of fun with the silliness of the Fly Fishing Fund. I've gotten big fish. I've gotten small fish. And I think you guys know that Bob Logan is our all-time winner for the smallest fish. And but he also is the winner. He's also the winner with the biggest net. So I don't think anybody's going to take the biggest net title. But my best friend Mikey heard about the fishing fund, and he sent me a photo that he wanted me to use of me holding probably the smallest trout you'll ever see. And then when I decided it was like a game, I was going to find a small picture of him. So wherever that small picture, do you have that slide up there that shows one more? There it is. So if you're wondering, Bob, I think Mikey whooped up on you on that fish up on that upper top. Now, I don't know. We're going to measure them, But anyway, there you go. So just so you guys know, each one of those photos added $100 to the Fly Fishing Fund. Next, we've got a little discussion about scholarships and giving.
President Mark, I'm going to interrupt you for a
What happened?
Chuck Sawyer has one more thing about the car show.
Oh, Chuck, you didn't. Nobody told me.
No, the
Chuck,
didn't
please
get
come up.
But then Luda, you're next, so stay right there.
Just back to the car show, we have one slide here. Before we get to the work days for the car show, we have 2 work days at the Gregory School coming up on September 18th, 7 a.m. to 11. This is going out and helping to rake up, cut trees, do all the rest of that stuff as well. And then we have one on October 2nd. That picture was taken yesterday morning. That is the green field at the Gregory School. We've got lots of rain, which is great, which means we have lots of stuff we have to clean up. So We'll send around an email. You can sign up on that one on the email. Don't have to do it online. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right. I'm super excited that President Mark actually carved out some time for me today to talk a little bit about our wonderful scholarship program and what we do for the youth of Tucson here. So for the newer members and for the existing members, I thought it would be an interesting piece of information. We're offering actually various types of scholarships. We have the undergraduate scholarships, and students go to the University of Arizona or Pima Community College. They're generally from the Greater Tucson high school graduates. Diverse backgrounds, financial need would be one of the some of the criterias. We have the Chaparral Scholarship. The students are pursuing their doctoral or master's degree in a specific field of study, and they're generally from the Mexican-American heritage. The Helen Middleton Boys and Girls Club Scholarship, administered primarily by the Boys and Girls Club, and we are supporting them in that. And one member of the Youth of the Year Award recipient will get that scholarship annually. In terms of the impact, I wanted to make sure that everyone is aware. We don't really have the information going beyond the 1999, although the scholarship was established in 1947. But we helped 149 Pima Community College students, 287 University of Arizona students to get their education. And the overall impact for all the years from 1999 through this year is close to $760,000. So thank you very much to everyone in this room. How can you help? Join our scholarship committee. Definitely help us with mentoring those students. We have a wonderful mentoring program, and we would like you to help us mentor our students. Donate to the scholarship cups. So those blue cups at the tables is for your donation. $5 a week for the majority of the membership will actually provide close to $50,000 a year, and that's generally what we're donating on an annual basis. So that helps. Every single dollar does. Make your annual donation, or you can certainly add your name and request from Darina and Carrie to be added to the quarterly dues. And that way it's automatically done, or you can add it as part of your statement. And we wanted to celebrate people who are donating consistently on a quarterly basis. We know there are annual contributions. We appreciate those who donate to the scholarship cups. It's very easy. Contact Darina and Carrie how to get added to be on this list. Thank you very much.
Thank you. By the way, if you look around, anybody's got their badge on with this little yellow thing on it, just pat them on the shoulder. Those are people that are giving on a quarterly basis. So that's what that little yellow badge is. So happy Jacksons. We haven't really had many Andrew Jacksons lately. I'm kind of a little nervous about giving the mic back to my friend, the fine doc, because some of you guys didn't think his joke was that funny. I thought it was hilarious, but I don't know. The heck. So you come on up and do the happy Jackson. Just so you guys know, if U's message includes recognizing a grandchild or a child, that child will get a Rotary certificate welcoming them to the world as our newest Rotary member, and also they'll get their choice between either a bear or a hound dog.
I was traveling up in Montana at Kalispell this summer for Alan's family reunion, and we stopped in at a CC, Cafe Curio shop, and I was walking by a table. This voice said, "Hey, buddy, stop. You need my help." And so I stopped and looked and said, "Who are you?" And the voice said, "Hector. And you need me for your rowdy Rotary Club in Tucson." I said, "How do you know about our Rotary Club?" said, I know a lot of things, and you, the president, will be very happy if you bring me back. And so we chatted for a while. Sure enough, I brought him back. And this is the inauguration of Hector to the Rotary Club of Tucson, and President Mark will use him when this club gets so rowdy in this big room that you don't listen to what he's saying. So he's just gonna, Hector, do you want to speak? That's for President Mark.
You gotta love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta pull it out? Oh, you guys are too much. Come on!
Show us Hector!
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can show you guys this. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, we had a Rotary chicken. I guess this is our Rotary pig. Huh? You like that? Okay, we're just gonna keep that. That's gonna be really, really, really fun. You continue to crack me up. You know, by the way, that's one of those past presidents that gives great advice. Okay, so in closing, I just want to thank you for joining us today, whether you're in person or you're joining us virtually. We hope you enjoyed the luncheon. I want to say especially thanks to our Switcher Studio team who proved that they can actually operate things without Bob Logan hanging over their each and every move. Just a reminder that the scholarship cups are on the table. We appreciate your generosity. Don't forget to not only return your badge, but put it in the right slot if you don't mind. If you've not received your Rotary pin, those are at the back table. Please do that and wear them with pride. Next week, we're going to have Bonnie Schock's going to be here. She is the executive director for the Fox Theater. Sadly, I'm going to miss that. I'm off fly fishing. Good news is President-elect Bruce is going to have his first time at the podium. So I'm expecting the rowdy table to keep him in line. Can I count on you guys to do that? Perfect, perfect. So, quick toast and adjourn. Here's to our district governor, Hank, who has more to do with keeping 50-plus clubs in line than anybody I know. We appreciate your leadership. We also appreciate that you have been here 3 times since the new administration started. Really appreciate that. May you stay safe on your travels. Here, we are adjourned.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Where are you going?
I'm heading up to Planton, Medford, and we're floating the wild and scenic Road River. And it's I've done it before, but the guys I'm going with have never done it. And we're going with my buddies at Phelps and outfit. So every night we stay in a different lodge, and it's just really cool. And the guys are really excited about it. So,
Have fun. That's a beautiful area.
I can't wait. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, it is.
I think I'm going to leave this pig here so that it can be here in the future. I mean, I think it needs to be there. Shouldn't it be here?
Sure.
Yeah, I think the pig has got to stay.
You can buy 6 tickets. Oh, Mary definitely needs to buy it. Tell her we bought her.
Well, she's covered, but Peter's not. Yeah. I think it's great. Say another